Monday Night Raw was supposed to sharpen the picture towards the Royal Rumble. Instead, blur the edges even more. Careers are being gambled, all rivals are circling each other, and by the end of that night, WWE chose hesitation over commitment. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to the T-Drop. Drop Brew, no soft behavior. We were in Toronto, Canada for Monday Night Raw, Royal Rumble week, and WWE officially ran out of margin for error. This episode needed to bring focus. Did it? Well, let's break it down. AJ Styles opened Raw, and immediately the tone was reflective. He acknowledged the words spoken backstage by Gunther, that this could be the last time AJ Styles ever welcome us to Monday Night Raw. AJ didn't see it that way. He admitted retirement is coming, but not yet. There are still people he wants to wrestle one more time, and one more World Championship run he believes he still has in him. This didn't sound like a delusional man. It sounded like urgency for him since he has so little time left. But then CM Punk interrupted. Punk talked about their 20-year history. Friends, rivals, enemies, and now respect. But Punk questioned AJ putting everything on the line against Gunther. If AJ loses, that's it. No rematch, no future Punk versus AJ match in WWE. AJ heard doubt. Punk has insisted it was a concern, but AJ challenged him anyway. If Punk doesn't believe he can win, then let's test it. Punk suggested they make it for a world title, and the match was set for later that night. So there you go. AJ versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship as the main event for Monday Night Raw in Toronto. As you saw from just that opening, quietly the theme of the show revealed itself. Everyone wants one more moment. WWE isn't sure who should get it yet. But anyway, we move on. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer faced Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. It was, on paper, a stacked lineup, and execution, very good. In direction, still unclear. The match was fast, physical, and action-heavy. Io looked sharp, Rhea felt dominant, Vaquer continued to feel like a future pillar. Everyone got a shine. The finish saw Rhea, though, pin Roxanne with the riptide. But usual. The way she pins people, though, very seductive. But anyway, it was a good match, but it also highlighted the issue that he is stacked with talent without clear defining priorities. Rio and Io already have challengers. Vaquer and Raquel feel like an inevitable thing about to happen in tomorrow's night's Raw, but nothing here screamed Royal Rumble urgency. It was a solid match, but it felt safe. Backstage on Monday Night Raw, Finn Bálor thanked CM Punk for their match last week, calling it one of the most memorable nights of his career. Punk flipped the conversation and said if Bálor wants to be a world champion again, he needs to think about his legacy and maybe rethink Judgment Day. Hanging around Dominic Mysterio isn't helping. Punk closed it with a challenge. Win the Royal Rumble. Come see me in Vegas. Fair enough. Bálor walked away conflicted. It was strong character work, but subtle. Possibly too subtle for a go-home Raw. But then, after this, which we talked about before, WWE started little by little dropping a tease of the 26th, leaning hard into the Attitude Era aesthetic, and they revealed Triple H as the cover, which started getting people mad, but that's a separate conversation. But anyway, we go back to Raw. Paul Heyman addressed Toronto by calling it a second-class city, immediately earning nuclear heat, as any heel would. Adam Pearce interrupts to clean house. Braun Breaker's suspension was officially lifted, and he is in the Royal Rumble. Then Pearce kept going. The rest of the division also entered the Royal Rumble. He pretty much became Oprah for the night. Heyman looked genuinely confused, which was rare but effective. This segment accomplished two things. It loaded the Rumble with monsters. I mean, at least heel monsters. It made Adam Pearce look like a man losing control in real time at Monday Night Raw. The second part feels intentional. It might be something that would lead to a future story on our way to WrestleMania. Austin Theory then had a match with Rey Mysterio right after this segment. Right after. Mysterio was clean with the stomp. It wasn't really a flashy, it wasn't even dramatic, but a necessary match to help them their momentum towards Saudi and the Royal Rumble. Theory ended up winning, and Theory needs wins like this if WWE wants fans to take him seriously again. The intensity in this match shows that he's improving. The confidence in him is creeping back. The concern, Ray looked banged up in this match. A decent match, but forgettable for now. But then after, the rest of the division, right after the match, the rest of the division pretty much destroyed everyone that was with Ray. Once again, showing Vision dominance because they are the future, they are the Vision, as they would say. Then we get a fatal four-way tag team match to see who will challenge Jey Uso and Jimmy for the tag team championships. Jimmy is ironically not here during Raw, and he wasn't at Saudi. It might be due to the fact that maybe Naomi is almost ready to give birth, and he needed to step away and take time for that. Now, for how long? Don't know. It's not like it's officially announced that's the case, but I'm making a safe assumption that maybe something is up that he needs to step away, which is fine. But if he doesn't show up in time, maybe something needs to happen with the tag belts. Maybe similar to what Judgment Day when the women's tag team belts needed to switch hands. Anyway, like I said, it was a fatal four-way with Los Americanos, Alpha Academy, Creed Brothers, and the New Day. The tag division chaos continue with this fatal four-way. Bodies everywhere, teams flying in and out. The Creeds turning everything into a demolition zone. Otis getting launched into the steps. Corey Graves teaching Michael Cole how to identify luchadors like it's preschool. Otis and Tozawa got the crowd fully engaged, and despite interference from Grayson Waller, Alpha Academy survived. Tozawa hit the top rope backsplash on Julius Creed, and they won. Here's the problem, though. This win wasn't anything at all about establishing dominance between these tag teams. It was about choosing the most crowd-friendly option in a division that still lacks direction. Entertaining, yes. Fixing the tag division, not really. Still got a lot of work to do for the tag division, the men's side. Maybe they can take a page out of the women's that they've been trying to do for the past couple weeks. We'll see. I mean, the fact that Jimmy is out for the immediate nearby future doesn't help the case either. But anyway, backstage before the main event, Natalya explained her attack on Maxxine Dupree the prior week and hinted at Becky Lynch's title. Becky mocked Toronto mad. She mocked Natalya and declared herself a Royal Rumble winner. The Kabuki Warriors entered, old grudges, but this felt like multiple promos stacked together instead of one focused story. Everyone declaring themselves for the Rumble, but nobody separated themselves. It got so annoying that all of a sudden, the last week of before the Royal Rumble, everyone started declaring themselves for the Rumble. And it continued this way until the very last day before Royal Rumble. Instead of doing it throughout the month of January, even before that, they should be starting to talk about the Rumble after Survivor Series. Subtle hints after the Survivor Series, and it gets louder and louder as we get close. I've seen people in the past declare themselves back in December, but they didn't. Anyway, Jay did help them out, but regardless, the tag division's a mess. It doesn't matter what happens in there. They put the belts back on the Usos because they hope it will bring attention to the division, because Jey Uso's such a hot commodity, I guess, to everyone, but I don't know if it's helping yet. Anyway, again, earlier on Monday, Michael Cole sat down with Gunther. Gunther said beating AJ Styles again does nothing for him in the interview that he did with Michael Cole, but ending his career mattered to him. He said AJ wants one more moment, and that moment he'll give the fans is watching AJ Styles give up. Then he turned the knife on Cole, figuratively, not a real knife, asking how long he plans to chase one more moment. This version of Gunther, half charming, half menacing, is exactly where he needs to be. Tired of seeing these old-timers taking his spotlight and doing what he needs to do to make sure his spot is highlighted by taking them all out. Who knows? Maybe after AJ Styles, CM Punk is next. He's another old timer, as he would say, or part timer, or whatever timer. Or maybe they're gonna put Gunther to take out Brock Lesnar. That's a tall order, though, to take for someone like Gunther, because that's two different type of chaos. But anyway, we finally moved to the main event. CM Punk defended the world title against AJ Styles in their first singles match in over 20 years. 20 years. It delivered smart pacing, great counters, desperation on both sides. Neither man could finish the other. They kept going back and forth till the very end. But then it was an okay Raw up to the very last minute. And what do I mean by the very last minute? Because I'm just cutting through this because it doesn't matter at this point. This match was okay. It wasn't as great as the match with Finn Balor. But what ended this and pretty much made me forget about Raw this week is the fact that Finn Balor interfered and created a DQ finish. Instead of giving AJ Styles, since we didn't know at the time, but now that we know, at least as far as we know, the fact that they couldn't give AJ Styles one more full match before his match against Gunther with CM Punk, and they gave us this crap of a DQ finish, is horse. It's crap. It's seriously horse crap, and I that just destroyed whatever enjoyment I had for Raw, and it pretty much ended my night there. So Finn Balor interfered, created a DQ finish, and Balor pretty much took them both out, and then he stood tall. Punk was laid out, AJ was laid out. It's whatever at this point. We've already seen Punk versus Balor. Maybe we're going to continue this. Maybe questions will be answered in the next Raw. Maybe they'll have a match at Elimination Chamber. Who the hell knows at this point? It felt rushed. Like, honestly, it didn't look like any of the creative wanted to fully commit to this match. They could have just had AJ Styles lose. Maybe Gunther is at ringside and Gunther plays mental games with AJ Styles, that AJ Styles isn't focused and the match messes up, instead of a blatant freaking DQ finish. Anyway, the more you think about Monday Night Raw at this point, the less confident the Rumble build felt, since it's past all that. It wasn't, like I said, a bad show, but it felt rushed because everyone started declaring they're in the Rumble. They didn't even have to do that, but they did. Too many threads, too little commitment. Some strong matches, some excellent promos, but WWE needed a statement, and instead, they hedged. Saturday needed to hit hard because Raw didn't finish the job. That was Raw, and that's a tea drop. Strong brew, no soft behavior. Let me know in the comments what you think this past week Monday Night Raw felt. Hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you after the next Raw.